Hello, Hofstra fans, and welcome to the W. Mason Coach Report with head men's basketball coach Mike Farrelly. Mike, 1-1 week ends against Drexel. What are your overall thoughts on the weekend that was against the Dragons?
I think we played three good halves of basketball. Unfortunately, the one half that we did not play well put ourselves in such a hole that we couldn't come back. Better effort and response in the second half on Saturday, and then obviously overcoming, some foul troubles, some sickness, some guys being banged up on Sunday for a pretty good effort and having a lot of guys contribute. So, unfortunately, not what we wanted coming out of the weekend. Obviously, you want to come out 2-0, but more good than bad, and a reminder in the first half of Saturday's game of who we can't be and who we need to be in terms of energy and effort.
Speaking of who you can be, on Saturday, Jaylen Ray with 30 points, career high, tied the school record for 3-pointers with 8. What allowed him to be so successful, especially in that second half where he scored 19 points?
Just fearless, such a leader, big shot maker, all that stuff, no fear of the moment. And he knew that's what we needed. We weren't getting much production off of the bench that day. And he knew that he needed to be the guy and to step up, and obviously was feeling good and got in a good rhythm. So he was terrific, gave us a really good chance to win. It was a shame that we spoiled such an unbelievable effort by him to not be able to come up with that victory.
I know we've talked about it before, but on the heels of a game like that, the career is so remarkable, yet so underrated. Just your thoughts on Jaylen Ray and what he's doing during his career here.
No, tremendous, and these numbers, and you look at the people that he's passing in some of these categories, he's passing, on the 3-pointers list now he's top 5, and he's passed, all these people, Carlos Rivera and Norm Richardson. He's approaching Elijah Pemberton, who tells me, make sure I'm not running plays for him so he doesn't pass him. But I said, sorry, Elijah, I hope he passes you by a lot. And then as he moves up the scoring list, and, he's passing Brian Bernardi and Wanye Green and Mean Tanksley and Rokas just from our era, in addition to other Hofstra legends and great players. So it's really an unbelievable career. And we've spoken about it before. When you play with Justin and Elijah and DeJour, 3 great guards, to still compile the numbers that he's had is pretty tremendous.
And speaking of tremendous, Isaac Conte with a tremendous weekend for you guys, including Sunday where he had 16 points and 16 rebounds. What allowed him to be so successful all weekend?
Especially on Sunday, I thought he was just relentless, just an absolute warrior. It just seemed like he was getting every rebound. Offensively, there was a stretch we didn't even run a play for him, but he just kept getting rebounds and scoring. We were trying to go inside to him, but we couldn't get to him that way. But he just went and got the ball on his own and scored and finished. So, especially in that, we had a lineup out there. Jaylen was sick, Tariq's in foul trouble, all that stuff. We had a lineup out there with bunch of freshmen and inexperienced guys and guys in different spots. And Isaac kind of carried us through that. Caleb certainly stabilized us from a ball handling perspective. But Isaac, when we needed some big plays and some buckets, he came up with them. So he was terrific.
Mike, you're now up to 12 overall wins, 8 conference wins. Both totals lead the CAA. I can't even imagine the pressures and the challenges on you and your student athletes. What do you make of the season so far and what you guys have been able to do and be so successful at doing?
Well, first it's a credit to everybody in the program for having the right behaviors of, whether it comes down to mask wearing and doing the right things on campus. And, we've seen so many teams that are shut down, not being able to play. And it's really reflective of the type of kids that we have and the type of people that we have in this program, that they're behaving the right way, doing all the right things to be able to play. Some people are like, I don't know if you're going to play 12 games this year, and to have won 12 games and to play 19 games overall. And being the only team, I'm going to knock on wood right now, Stephen, but we're the only team in our conference to play every league game so far. So, hopefully that can obviously continue. But, we've had a great stretch, and it's certainly a credit to those guys of, look, and we talked about it before too. We lost a lot last year with not being able to go to the NCAA tournament because of COVID. So these guys are taking things super, super seriously. Our administration has done an unbelievable job of messaging this, and our guys have taken it seriously and done the right things to make sure we've been able to play all these games. And then on top of that, to have the success, battle the ups and downs and here and there in different situations that we've had to battle through. So they've been great and responded, in times of adversity and in tough times, and they deserve a ton of credit for that.
Mike, this week you head down to James Madison for there's no understating it. It is a big, big series. James Madison to surprise the league so far, 5-1 in conference play, really playing well and have the preseason player of the year. What do you make of the weekend going in to play the Dukes?
Yeah, all these weekends can be such big weekends because it's such a swing. You don't play for a week and then you have those two games, and it can, alter the looks of the standings and everything like that. But certainly they're playing really, really well down there. Coach Bynington's doing a great job. They definitely had talent. They did a great job adding some talent too, added some really good transfers. Votto Morse is a transfer from Mount St. Mary's who's averaging double figures for them, had 30 in a win at Northeastern. He's been really, really good. And they're changed in terms of what they do, especially defensively. They're really aggressive, physical on the defensive end. They now have an identity that way that they bought into. So the coaching staff's done a great job. Players have done a great job. Obviously when you have Matt Lewis in the preseason player of the year, he's tremendous and can win you a game almost single-handedly. We saw that here a couple of years ago. But certainly a terrific player. But it's not just him. They've added some really good pieces. The guys that they had last year as freshmen have kind of stepped up into bigger roles as sophomores. They brought in some freshmen that are good, and now they have a really good defensive identity as well. So we'll have to be tough and physical to play against their physicality as well.
Mike, good luck this weekend at James Madison, and we'll talk to you again next week.
Thank you, Stephen.
And thank you, Hofstra fans, for joining us in the W. Mason Coach Report with head men's basketball coach Mike Farrelly.